I wanted to tell you the purpose of this. One is that when you come in and interview the school, or we're talking to you as prospective parents, I have the opportunity, turn off your cell phones, please. I have the opportunity to talk to you about the philosophy of the school, the curriculum of the school overall, what I think is distinctive or special about this school. And then often we don't have a formal time to talk about that again in the whole time you're here. So that is one of the purposes of this, of these teas, is for me to have a regular, formal opportunity to talk to you about the things that I think are distinctive about the VanDamme Academy education, and to let you in on the inner workings of the school as much as I can. It's also an opportunity for us to just be here together, for you to ask me questions about anything that's come up at school recently that you think is of widespread interest, and things that you've been curious about and you want me to answer. So I'll leave some time at the end for general questions. So you can ask questions specifically about today's topic or about anything else about the school that you think is of general interest and you'd like to hear me address here. So the topic I chose for today is the VanDamme Academy writing curriculum. And the reason I chose that is that if you asked me, what do you think, on one hand, what are the most important defining aspects of the school, I would definitely name the writing program as one. Why is that? So what I want to do is describe to you how we teach writing at this school. It's a long process. It begins in kindergarten. It continues all the way through 8th grade. It's complicated and evolving and incremental and building at every stage. So I want to give you a sense of how that happens over the course of their education. So first thing I want to say is, so what's distinctive about the VanDamme Academy writing curriculum? Well, the first thing is that there is a writing program. A lot of schools today are not teaching writing, not teaching it at all. One of the reasons, of course, is large class sizes, and that is one of the most important reasons that we have the class sizes that we do, is because we know we're going to insist on a large volume of writing from them. Writing in every class and writing in writing class. Writing complete sentences, writing paragraphs, writing essays. And so in order for the teacher to evaluate and give feedback on that amount of work, we have to keep the class sizes small. A lot of the schools are simply not teaching writing. In fact, when I went to college at UT Austin, they, when I started, had just implemented a mandatory essay writing program in the university, where they had to have, certain classes had to be assigned. You have to give your students at least 2 essays through the course of the year, because what they found is that people were graduating from college never having written an essay. And so they had to have this concerted college-wide program to make sure that someone wrote at least 1 essay in the course of their education. Well, as you parents know, at least the parents of the older students, here they write at least 12 essays over the course of a school year. So by the time they've graduated, writing is absolutely second nature to them. So I want to describe to you a little bit about how we make that second nature. At other schools, if they do assign writing topics, if those of you who have been at other schools have probably experienced this, it's often one of the things that's sent home as a project to do at home, which I think is an absolute disaster. Writing is one of the most complex, most difficult skills that kids develop, and so to send that home and say this is something you do on your own time, unsupervised by the teacher with no specific method to follow, is absolutely a disaster, and causes what I've called the terror of the blank sheet of paper, where a child has a blank sheet of paper, a writing topic, and just feels paralyzed, helpless, confused, has absolutely no idea where to start. And there's a good reason for that. I think you have, as adults, have probably experienced this. If you don't follow a deliberate process, and we teach a consistent process through the whole school, the blank sheet of paper is incredibly intimidating. Even in thinking about notes to prepare for this talk, I have to follow the exact method that I give the kids to follow, and I'm going to explain what that method is. Also, one of the typical problems is to assign really boring formulaic topics in writing. So everybody knows about the "what did you do over summer vacation" essay. And we've actually sometimes thought of clever ways to mock that assignment when the kids get back from summer vacation in their writing assignments. Or the book report. The book report is one of the most universally dreaded writing assignments because there's no specific theme, there's no specific purpose to it. It's just read a book now, give us a book report. What does that mean exactly? Okay, so the terror of the white sheet of paper, the absolutely uninspiring topics, often a problem. Another problem that I often see in writing class is that schools will sometimes use writing as an opportunity to promote a political agenda or to promote the teacher's particular agenda. So they see writing as an opportunity to write about something abstract, something, if they want to make it interesting or engaging, they pick something controversial, something that you can take a stand on, something you can have a strong opinion about. But what are we asking these kids to have strong opinions about? So I had one, I think sophomore in high school that I was tutoring at one time. And she had been struggling in writing, and so she was working with the writing teacher at her school to improve her writing skills after school. So he would give her an assignment to work on at home, and since I was tutoring her, I aided her in this assignment. And the first assignment that she was given that I was supposed to help her with is, what is your position on euthanasia? So, as you can imagine, the first question she had for me is, what's euthanasia? But more important, how many political, religious, spiritual, complicated, abstract ideas are at work in something like, what is your opinion on euthanasia? So if I had my way, I'd have her write as her essay why she has no business having an opinion on euthanasia. That would be a better writing assignment. So one of our important principles in the writing program is give them topics that they know, that it's appropriate for them to write about. Where it's not that we're asking them to take on something very abstract, something controversial. We're asking them to take thoughts that they have in their head that are disorganized and put them in a structured, formal, organized presentation. That's what the writing program is about.